good? Alrighty. It says going live. And it says we're live. Now I'm going to make sure the volume is up because the volume has been giving me lots of problems. Hopefully people can let us know. Remind me to keep asking. I'm going to go ahead and tweet, so if you can keep an eye on Chatola, that'd be phenomenal. Can you see the thingy? Okay. Alright. Turning the slide, getting the...
Shot. Oh, I didn't realize you had a little fire in the background sound. Lovely.
It's like what's that called? The Yule log, yeah.
Yeah. The Yule log.
The hey Yule log. Hey Yule, how you doing, log?
Hey, how's yous? You guys.
Yous guys. We always do that. We always do like the Goodfellas accent.
Yeah. Good accent.
Dan Cooper, buddy. Danny boy, like we're having this little conversation on Twitter that's kind of amusing. Where he's like, there was a tweet that was like, name a perfect movie, as in one you don't need to do anything in order to improve it. There's nothing you can criticize. And he said Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. No, have you both seen that?
No.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think anything is perfect, but that's not a bad choice.
I just turned around and I'm like, they repair a broken super collider in under a week, and he's like,
so Spider-Man's he's as smart as a spider.
He's not the one that did it. It was the villains doing it. And just like,
well, they're smarter.
You don't understand?
Isn't it Doc Ock's daughter? She has doctor genes.
No, you saw the destruction they had. The thing was like it was like a collapsed building in there. You don't repair that overnight.
Well, I mean, Kingpin is very strong.
And I pointed out, great, it works thematically. They also totaled the super collider in under a week. And he's like, what's a limo without an odd clump of mud in the wheels? And I'm like, a clean limo?
that doesn't make any sense. Why are you taking your limo off-roading? Now I'm even more confused.
Off-road limoing. Oh, we need to make that a thing. You get limos with like big ol'
big ol' suspension with the super fucking tires. Hey, Blade Charge, how you doing?
Blade Charge,
You're the
so
first
good to me.
one to say hi in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always
There's
so good.
2 other people watching, I think.
One of them is me. There you go.
One of them is. Well, I accounted for you and Raymond. It says there are 5 watching right now.
But you're counting for yourself. Nice. Oh, it says 4 for me.
It says 5 for me. Now it says 6. So yeah, there's 2 other people here, and they're being stingy with their highs.
If you can, did you guys retweet my tweetsies? Tweets. So you know how I'm super prepared all the time, and how I'm just phenomenal when it comes to managing my time. I really was proud of this. I had some notes, written out throughout the week. And then I decided to, clean out some papers that I had. Pretty old. My notes are gone because I threw them out. That's
brilliant.
When will I become a normal human? Or just an adult, really? Like, what is an adult? Nobody told me.
I mean, hey, I did the same thing, but to 20% of the Volume 6 review. So.
Oh, that's right, yeah. We're doing a dick measuring contest for being horrible. What's yours there? I feel like your Volume 3 review when it's like, I trusted John. Like, when she's like, Pyrrha and Blake were fighting, remember? Well, of course you remember, you wrote it.
I trusted John Twice.
Twice. What's up,
Had
you guys?
everyone beat. It was great.
Hey, media. We've got, I saw Brandon up there, I believe. Hey, Kaiser, now you're here. Okay, Kaiser Sausage was not Kaiser Shonen. That's what I was wrong. Natsu, hi. Bye. This is chapter 8. Shoo. I love you. Thank you for coming. Yes, Brandon. He's doing reactions for early reviews. That's why I'm like, shoo. So, how's everyone today? I don't know, Brandon. You know what? That doesn't matter. How are you? That's what matters, because you are important to me. Isn't that like a Saturday Night Live skit?
You're not important to me, however, man. So, I don't really know.
Fuck.
Just
Yeet.
go like full Marshall asshole.
But Mary Chrysler, though.
Mary Chrysler, everyone.
Yeah, Mary Chrysler. How's the audio, fellers and people? Always
How's the audio, fellow kids?
hello, fellow audio kids.
It's like, you always want to like keep the rhythm, or not keep the rhythm, but like keep the theme consistent. So it's like if you say fellows and then the female version would be fillettes, and it's like,
It is.
wait.
No, that sounds too fellatio.
Yeah, no.
I mean, would be accurate, but no. I mean, no, that's not fair. How dare I say that? I'm assuming their tastes from their taste buds.
How dare you assume they're tasting dick?
Oh, it's a fire. The fire might be too loud. All right. That's probably not the fire. That's just me thinking and trying to calm down. Let's see.
That's your brain overheating.
Yes.
Let me check this out. Fire.
We have to feed a steady stream of lewds into her mind. It's like putting wood into a furnace to keep it going.
There it is. That's because I got the wrong volumes. That's what it is. I thought the fire was me. But that should be alright. How is me though? Good? Now I did some magic. Oh, BS. You know. Where's my giggle track? Did he go to the bathroom?
No.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You let me down, dude.
I did. I'm sorry.
What am I paying you for?
My company?
Wait, you're getting
You have a
paid?
company? Let's see here. A bit distant on Fatman's end. Really? Far away?
Really?
let's
you would just turn me up in.
I will tell you yes.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I
here.
gotta change my my icon at some point. I can't figure out what I'm gonna change it to for the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it's after Christmas. We gotta like get rid of our Christmas stockings.
Why the day after? Why can't we change it on like
New
Valentine's
Year's
Day?
that when I change
Valentine's Day, like
Yeah,
my
we'll keep
aunt
the
does.
the Christmas decorations. They go up in September and they come down in February. It's perfect.
Some people around here still have their Christmas lights up like all year round. It's not even the white ones that can be like, oh, maybe it's a pretty pool. No, it's red and green. It's all that stuff. And also, Kaiser, do I have money? Why are you getting nosy on me? No, of course. I mean, what are we even talking about that you were asking that? Anyway, let me read some of these. Fatman is a bit quieter than usual. Okay. Again, I just thought I did that.
I might just be speaking quietly. That's always possible.
Okay. Usually that's Raymond. And why is my stomach wants to... Featuring my stomach. I'm going to put in the title.
Yeah.
Stomach ASMR, people are really into that.
Robori. Really?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What do you mean?
I could hear stomach ASMR, like taking off and be like one of those like trends, like overnight trends that don't make any sense to anyone.
But just by itself. Like, the girls doesn't talk or anything, right? It's like, oh, my stomach is asking for you, baby. Like, my stomach is
Well,
lonely.
I can see that going to a completely different audience.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
Like-
God, Christ! Forgot about that audience. Oh God.
Vor!
For oh my god! All right.
Get it trending.
Get it trending. Boost. Okay, my notes. All right. If you don't see it on the screen, because I forgot to do that last time. Spoilers for chapter 7. Oh, what is that?
Chapter 8.
So 8.
Right?
Yes, and there you are. Oh, somebody followed. I missed it. There needs to be a better way for me to, look at things when they ring. I'll get there. And now I've lost my... Oh, there it is. I'm like, I should get a leash for my mouse. Yeah, it's called cord. Like a cord mouse.
Yeah.
My notes. Alright. Chapter 8. We checked all the audios. We checked all the sounds. Now it's time to check all the retcons. No? I was trying to make a negative joke, and I don't work at negativity. Sorry, guys. Your turn. Fatman, you're good at that. Go ahead.
Yeah. We'll note all the retcons, except at this point, so much has been retconned, like I don't even know what to call anymore.
Oh,
It's like, all of the rets have been conned,
the Wrens. All right, look, I don't know what to do with this right now, but I need
all
to
the-
remind. I need to remind
all,
Raymond.
all of the Wrens have said this is bad.
Like me and my memory right now. Raymond, if you would please help me out with some questions. Which reminds me, if you have any questions as we go, at any one of us, and it'll be a lot easier for us to see, just in case I miss stuff, because I'm really not good at this window thing, because I click on one thing. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Let's have a recap, one of those quick Raymond recaps of chapter 8. Would you please, my darling ginger puppy?
How to go about recapping this episode? Very, very complicated. So
There was food.
Was there
Oreo.
even?
It's-
Barely. There was
it's
Oreos.
Oreos.
Food, bitches, more food, bitches talking, milfs, sisters, bitches talking, milf. There, that's the recap.
The end.
I
All right,
think.
guys. Thanks for joining. We'd like to thank you. If you want to join us in the Discord, we have a
I wanna actually
Patreon.
note-
Oh, we're not done.
There is something I want to note outside of the episode itself, because I just now realized it when someone pointed out that the voice of Pietro is the voice of Lee Everett from the Walking Dead video games.
Huh.
I don't know.
And if he was from the very first season, and he's had like a recurring role as a character, as like a flashback character, but he is one of the best voice actors out there. And I just realized they stuffed him with Pietro, and it really sings to me what kind of direction these people are getting. That Pietro doesn't really stand out as an actor, or as a character, I should say, when he's voiced by Lee friggin' Everett, who was superb in The Walking Dead. Whatever you might want to say about that that video game franchise, it has its faults for sure. The voice acting from the main characters has typically been top notch, so that's impressive to me.
I wouldn't mind putting some whiskey in one of those teacups.
Penny is Clementine confirmed. Oh, that speaks so ill. I mean, do you think they're gonna kill Pietro?
I think so.
If
think so.
they do, it'll be so annoying, because Jean can recharge his aura.
Can he though?
I mean, if he can't, what the fuck does his power do?
Well, it can recharge his aura, not like replace it. Like I know recharging and replace it, but it's gone. It's part of it is gone.
Yeah, it's like, it's like you get like nanites that can repair body cells and such like that, but they can't restore limbs. It's like what he's doing to his soul is like tearing off like fingers at a time, and then just healing over the stumps. That's what you're basically advocating for.
Well, you just need more stem cells. Jean is stem cells confirmed.
Are there erratic stem
No.
cells?
I don't know. I don't know.
We're asking the deep questions here.
Like I always say, here at the Dash
erratic
Lee
stem
channel, we
cells.
always get deep, real deep.
Yes, and not only in that way.
So, no, yeah, that's what I got from that is you can't. Maybe he can help him out with what he has now, but I don't think he can like replenish, and he barely has anything left. From what somebody was saying that whenever he was like getting shiny, that he was barely has a like spark. I don't know how you can determine that by looking at that. But
Oh yeah, I don't know. Like, whatever it is, he coughs and his aura is gone, and it's like I don't know. It's aura. It's aura.
yeah, that's what makes it fun. So I can sit here and listen to you talk about aura.
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 No wonder people like. Oh, that explains so much why people like this damned show. It's always aura with them.
Jeez. That's sweet.
But yes, okay. So to literally recap, we have everyone showing up at Schnee Manor, and for like a chill little shindig involving the council. I don't understand why they're throwing a party when it's really a private dining experience. Like, it seems kind of weird to have, like, those simultaneously.
Maybe it's their way of, like, please don't, I don't know nothing, but I'm just guessing. Their way of, like, that welcoming dinner or, like, not inaugural, like, something to that effect where it's like everyone does it whenever they win.
Bring your friends. We can abandon them in the main hall.
Yeah, no, it's like an impromptu council meeting, but there just happens to be, like, a dinner party in the next room over. It's like, what the?
It feels like the only explanation for it really is like either there's something about rich person culture that we don't understand, which is possible, but more likely like Jacques wants witnesses to something.
I mean,
Perhaps.
yeah, he's getting established and starting to make everyone his bitches.
Yep. So
That's
then
weird.
they go inside, and Whitley greets them, and there's some words. Whitley seems to be mellowing out a little bit because he's like basically getting sick of being under his father's thumb.
But before you go that
You can
far,
tell a little
Raymond,
bit.
real quick, when Fatman, you seemed extremely upset more than anybody else in the reaction when you heard that Klein was gone. It almost didn't make sense to you, but I mean, to me and Britt, like we were hearing, he helped Weiss get away. Why would he not be fired, or I guess arrested? Because she's not underage by then, right? No, she was like 18. So, yeah, at least like fired. Why were you like so like? Why is he gone? What?
I mean, I think it's just because he likes J. Michael Tatum so much.
Oh no, I was talking about you. You were like, what? Why would he be gone? Like it felt like it was unbelievable to you that he was gone.
I mean, was that just his initial reaction?
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Like,
That's fair because I think we discussed it and it makes sense. I think, right?
Yeah, I
not afterward, not that anyway. It just still felt
Yeah.
like you were like not okay with or like not believing it for some reason. That's why I'm bringing it up. It was part of my notes that I threw out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another character that's like let's just push him off. Like
Okay.
they introduced him in Volume 4, and it's just like, nope, we didn't have, we needed somebody to help Weiss break out. Great, that's it. Bye bye.
It was like nothing wrong happened ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like character bloat, but the way that you like combat character bloat is not by like slashing the cast. It's like the way you combat character bloat is by giving them something to do. And it's like it's not good writing to like introduce a bunch of characters and then be like, "Oh, we don't have anything for them to do. Let's just pretend they never existed or just shuffle them off." You know, not really pretend they never existed, but
Well,
just like
they'll bring Klein back, but then announce he'll be voiced by Vic Mignogna, and just
Oh,
that's
God.
whatever he wants.
Oh, jeez. Or they'll call Raymond McNeil, and Raymond McNeil will shit his pants and try his best, J. Michael Tatum. Wait, is there an actor called? Oh, that's me, he says. But please, let's see, let's read some of these here. All right. I'm really bad at reading.
aren't we all?
No.
Okay, there we go. That came out. I accidentally hit the mute button on my microphone. What do you get asked? Where?
I'm just reading down to make sure like I didn't miss any questions because and if they're
Yeah, he's finding a new job. There's gonna be like a whole arc. Like that's what Volume 8 is gonna be.
No. It's like it's a one-off episode of Klein having been fired, going home to his wife and kids. They're like living in a little shanty house.
well, maybe he has a
Everything's,
husband.
like, decrepit and falling apart.
What if he has a
And,
husband?
like he's going out trying to get a job, and he's struggling to find a job, and it's just like depressing after depressing after depressing after depressing after depressing.
The new spin-off.
And like his kid is sick.
All right, now you're really hurting me.
Well, no, because it's like Tiny Tim, and then Mr. Schnee will be visited by three ghosts. See, this is all.
Did you see Flork of Cows and their Christmas, their parody of A Christmas Story?
Oh, I don't think so.
You know how they have that rich sock, the super rich guy. They had him, and he's just like, I don't understand. How is it my fault that these people are poor? How is it my problem that these people are poor? And the Ghost of Christmas Past is just like opening a bottle of scotch. I imagine that's what Shock would be like. It's like, I don't understand why this is my problem. These people are poor of their own volition. They should be born CEOs. I married into my wealth. Why don't they?
Why don't they marry my wife? Isn't that just how it works?
Who said that? Was that something from here? Hold on, I just saw it. Wow, I just got a Dan, Kaito Dan. He'll be visited by the three Schnee children. Like, why is it? Because they're just like that bland.
Because they're the
that white.
Yeah, you've got Winter for Christmas Past, you've got Weiss for Christmas Present, and then you just have Whitley in like really oversized black robes.
Yeah.
For Christmas Future, and he's just confused and stumbling over himself. Like, wait, what's going on? I'm sorry, I can't quite see. Which person is it today?
Person is it today? Aww. Okay, why is it so difficult for me to read this? Alright. We do want I want, just like Blade Charge, the jock slap back. Like, I want it somewhere. Like,
there's no scene of Jacques slapping Klein.
Klein.
That's how he fires all of his employees.
It's like, get out, slaps his bald head. Okay.
So yes, back on subject, they get let in, and Whitley leads the delegation team away from the party and out a door to somewhere on the ground floor towards where they're having the meeting. And everyone hangs back and is like, okay, well, we're gonna like sneak around and do surreptitious stuff and not enjoy the party like any sensible person would, even though we're here to usurp it, obviously. We're here to do secret shit, but, like, I correct that.
I think it was Ren or Oscar went immediately to get the little tiny Oreo. I think it was Oscar that went and got a little tiny Oreo. And so
He was
Oscar
stoned.
knows what's up. Oscar knows.
Yeah,
what's up.
he was
Weiss
stoned. He had the
immediately goes
munchies.
Oscar goes out to Weiss goes out to try and explore, but then coming down the stairs.
Yeah, that was
not
weird.
2
That was
minutes after
weird.
he left is Whitley, which actually now raises a question I have: is that an accident or is that something else?
It's 6 to 8 months later. We all know this.
Well,
You know, Volume 4 had really terrible geography of Schnee Manor, too.
Did it?
You know, like how Klein took Weiss directly past Jacques' office to get to the secret passage, but then went off back in the direction he was coming from, and then came out through the secret passage. Like there was a completely different access to the secret passage that he could have just taken
Check
Weiss
that
to.
again. I had to check that out
Another
again. I
secret
never knew
passage
this.
that
Did you
leads
guys
to
out
the
there know
secret
that?
passage.
I didn't know that.
Uh,
Did you
yeah,
guys find
yeah,
it out?
Let me point that out.
Hmm.
Yeah, Volume 4's geography is a little wonky.
So I'm wondering, maybe there's like all these secret passages that only like one Schnee at a time knows about. Like different like everyone knows about different secret passages in the manor, but they don't know about the other secret passages.
Yeah, really.
That might be the explanation, or maybe like Whitley has a twin brother that no one knows about.
And that's why he's going down the steps. Yes. Or is it a Mrs. Doubtfire thing where he's dressing really quick? Duh, he would be dressing as himself. Hello.
Oh no,
He changes
Just a bit.
completely,
Yeah.
just strips all the way down, and then dresses back up in an
Exactly
identical
the
set
same
of the same
thing.
clothes.
He's like, there, that's better.
That's like someone broke into my house and replaced all of my things with identical copies. This is bullshit.
okay, that's a horror analogy, but yeah, I was gonna say it'd be really cool if like I don't think they're obviously not going this route, but like if they did like a Alexia and Alfred dynamic from Resident Evil. If for anyone that's familiar with Resident Evil Code Veronica, they have one of the most fucked up dynamics, and it's great.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry, I'm reading
because-
what the side beam. Go ahead.
The dynamic of like he dresses up as his sister and fakes being his sister because he lost her at a young age because he thought that she died, but she didn't actually die, and so he's actually just this entire time he's been dressing up and pretending to be his sister, perfectly mimicking her voice the entire time. And
Oh,
like
God.
there are several scenes where like they well, not several, but there's one scene where you walk in on him having an argument with himself. It's I was so hoping like I could see Whitley going that direction because he seems very not quite as foppish as Alfred, but he could be. Alfred had this very high pitched laugh that I could see Whitley doing.
I was reading what Cybeam was saying. Klein got fired but never actually left. He's been living in the walls the whole time, continuing to serve Willow. That's
All right, is he
pretty
continuing
creepy.
to serve Willow or is he continuing to serve?
Oh,
Willow?
Jesus, that's right. I forgot what I was talking to.
Hey, she's obviously not happy in this relationship. She better have something on the side.
I hope so. And she's got 7 men then. 7 men then. 7 men then.
Yeah.
He goes up to, Madam, which one would you like to have this evening? I'll take the one with the red eyes, thank you. That was a good year. Oh, quite a good choice.
See a bottle of wine?
That's what I was trying to do.
I mean, more or less, right?
Oh, no.
It's like having a gangbang in one. It's a 7-in-1 package.
We're answering the real questions here.
Okay, let's see.
Secret tunnel, motherfucker. That plot twist and that's the plot. That's twist in Psycho. Yes, it is the twist in Psycho. Do a lot of
No
older manor
spoilers.
houses things did have servant passages to remain out of sight. Maybe he's getting laid by. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Would that make Klein Weiss's father? We haven't seen her eyes switch, so I don't know.
But no.
Klein Willow ship name. Small tree.
Small tree?
Well, her name
I'll
Willow's
take
a
it.
tree, right?
What?
Yeah, Willow is a
Willow-
tree.
Pussy
and
willow.
Klein means small in German.
Oh.
So sapling, that's the name.
Sapling. Oh, that's a, wow. That's a good ship name. There you go. You heard it here first.
Yeah, she's cheating with someone. His name is Jack Daniels.
It's Mr. Sneernoff.
I don't
to
know.
you, sir.
That was pretty vodka. It wasn't really.
Yeah,
that
it was
wasn't
Mr.
really
Sneernoff
vodka.
to you, sir. Is what I was
That,
saying.
that was
Yeah.
that was 6 gooses. That was six.
Yeah.
That was 6 geese or
Geeses.
6-1. 6-1. And
Partridge
remember,
in
the
a pear
destruction goose
tree.
is so powerful it destroys grammar. It's pronounced gooses.
Oh, God. All right.
Goose.
So Whitley trying to be the annoying person. He wants to get her attention. What now? I see him a lot different. Not like that now that I see him. It's like now it's like confirmed for me that yeah, this boy is like hurting and he's going to pay back these people that left him.
I
And-
actually like now that he introduces himself as like when he interacts with her, he's always very clear to make it like, "Hello, dear sister.
Mhm.
It is I, your brother." Like that actually kind of makes a little bit of sense to me
Yeah.
now because it's sort of like him like trying to affirm the fact that they're relatives.
Right, it's like,
and-
remember me? You used to have a brother. Yeah, you left me, you
Yeah.
fucking bitch. Yeah, that one. I'm so worried about my
Yeah.
audio. Is the audio okay, guys? I'm so freaking out.
Yeah. Just constantly keep reminding us how awesome the audio is.
Yeah? All right.
Just like that should be like every other message in the chat. It's like
Yes.
listen to this
the Goose
amazing
of
audio.
Destruction. You didn't see it over on my channel. We had a whole conversation leading up to the release of RWBY Volume 7, where we invented the Goose of Destruction, which coincidentally was a discussion that happened 3 days before the release of Untitled Goose Game, and none of us realized it.
Yeah.
So if you want to check that out, go over to my channel, Celtic Phoenix Productions, and
Yes.
check it out there.
Yes.
Definitely. I think I put the one we're talking about now, the volume, the chapter we're talking about now in the description, please. Rate it after it, just to watch it again because you love us that much, okay? And
Yeah.
going back to RWBY here and Whitley, I want to dislike him greatly because I don't like to say hate. I want to
Really?
dislike him greatly, okay? I want to, but it's too true. Like, it's too real. It really is. But all they're doing is just crying
it is
out.
strange how well they've characterized the Schnees. Like, I feel like they've put like most of the time trying to characterize characters into just these 4 characters, five characters. I don't know. Actually, Winter isn't all that interesting to me. Of the 5,
No?
she's like the least interesting.
Well, she's consistent.
I don't know. Her having that explosion seemed.
Consistent. She did that.
I'm on the fence of whether or not it's consistent or not. I guess I could err on the side of caution and say it's consistent, but
Fatman, what's your point? What's your point of view with Whitley? What do you see happening?
No, I don't know. I feel like they're trying to pull him back from, being a piece of shit.
Is that a
'Cause,
good
like,
thing or a bad
in-
thing?
Oh, I don't know. Do you like pieces of shit?
Ah.
I don't know. I love me a good piece of shit, but like
I
when
mean,
they're
it would be like that weird cat shit that they make cat coffee out of. So I mean,
Ew, what?
yeah, there's like some kind of cat that eats beans and it shits out, and like somehow that like ferments the beans perfectly to turn it into like good
Okay.
coffee. Like it's like
Gross.
gourmet stuff.
Oh,
some
I don't
real
understand it
gourmet
either.
shit.
it literally is. That's some gourmet shit.
Yeah, like, but you don't like, okay, in volume 4 it seemed like I think it might have just been like poor direction on the part of like like the actor, and they were just like, oh yeah, he's Whitley, he's a scumbag. Oh, and the actor's like, I know how to do that, and he just did it, and it was like not very good, and like it worked, it got the point across, but it's like, this is lame. And now it's more like, low, like because he like gives Weiss shit, like he had like she's like, oh, it's Whitley, and he's like, oh, that's an odd way of saying, oh, it's been a while, it's just good to see you, blah 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 blah. Like it seems like they have more of a dynamic, where in volume 4 it just seemed like he was like, oh, they're trying to set up the bad guy.
Yeah, that's where my famous stab him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In volume 4, it's like stab him now. In volume 8, or in whatever volume this is, 7. In volume 7, it's like, oh, maybe he has a point, and Weiss did just ditch him. Like, honestly, who likes their little brother?
Well, the issue with that is, like, in volume 4, there was always that kind of a time messery that was going on with how long has she been home?
Yeah,
And,
like she
why
was.
hasn't she interacted with her brother if she can't stop meeting him at every turn?
Yeah, she got home right after the fall of Beacon, and then stayed like sequestered in her room until the beginning of volume 4. So it's like, even considering something like that happening, it's still like, I don't know, this interaction, these interactions in this episode between Whitley and Weiss were like better. They're kind of trying to make him not,
A piece of shit.
yeah, not like they're trying to make him not a piece of shit, and they're not like, and they're not changing his personality. Like in volume 1, Weiss was a piece of shit, and then in volume 2, she was a completely different character, and that wasn't how they treated Whitley. Like Whitley was a piece of shit in volume 4. Now over here in volume 7, he's like, oh, he's like a little brother.
Okay.
I see. I kind of I get it. Like, this is him being him, still shitty, but like I get it now.
Okay. And that was all because we got those words from Willow then?
No. Just,
So you saw that the whole time?
I saw that in like the intro scene when he's like, "Oh, that's an odd way of saying, I haven't seen you in a while. There's this, like, I forget what he said, but
No, yeah.
the way he said it was like, oh, that's an odd way of greeting your brother after all this time. That seemed like an actual line delivered in character. That didn't seem like a pullback exposition. That seemed better.
Better. Okay. What did you think about when he was holding Watts against the door, trying to let him not go in? But I guess Watts was waiting outside the door, and he was like, "Who is this guy?" He almost looked scared.
Oh yeah, he was like, that was pretty clear. He was like scared. He was. I don't know what the relationship with Watts is. I don't know if they have history or whatever. I don't know about that. But like, that seemed more like exposition than the scene with Weiss.
Well, if we move on here, let's see. Sabine asked me, "How do you think you'd react if Whitley was the one to finally snap and kill Shock?" Well,
I would be down for that.
I
Especially
would be down, but I don't
because,
think
like-
I'd go as crazy as people would think. I'd be like, yeah, I can 100% see that. But I don't think it would be like a snap like out of nowhere. I think it'd be like almost like poetic, because it would be like really almost posh, like the way he kills him. Either like so evil that he's like smiling as his father like chokes on something. I don't know, something pretty cool for him, obviously. I'm not recommending people do that, but like for Whitley, that'd be awesome.
When it comes down to it, like I could see him being like backed into a corner, like trying to choose sides or something like that, and then being like making his choice in like the most like permanent way possible. Like he's being forced to choose between Weiss or his dad, and like his reaction is to choose Weiss so hardcore that he stabs his father. Like he has to physically kill his dad if in order to free himself. I mean, I could see that, but that'd need volumes of development. I don't think we could see that within this volume.
I feel like if Whitley was even like approaching that mindset, that Willow would just do it.
Willow might. I mean, it depends again on the context. Like, if it's just the three, Weiss, Whitley, and Jacques, that's how I think it would go down. But when you add in other characters, it radically changes the circumstances.
Wait, you mean like the three of them are going to be in a... One of them is going to have to kill the other? I see. What
I don't see it happening. I'm just saying, like, if the setup you need in order to do that right now is that.
Yeah, like, Weiss seems a little over it. Like, she doesn't even, like, want to be here. So, I don't know if she, like, even, like, cares enough to, like, kill... Like, I think if it was like going to be like, oh god, Jacques is evil, we need to kill him, she'd be like, all right, fine. But it's like, it's gonna be like a team effort. Like, in order for Whitley to kill Jacques, there would have to be like some shit that would go down that like would, because like Willow is out to like protect her children, including Whitley, and it's just some like she has summoning, she has glyphs, she can do all sorts of crazy things. I mean, she might be like, you know, like mom mode, she might not be a trained huntsman, but Jacques isn't either, so I feel like if she could go, glyph, throw you out a window.
Now,
you know,
that reminds me. Remember when they confirmed that Jacques and Whitley were the only characters that can't fight in the show? Do you think that is still the case, or do you think?
Or did they retcon it? Have they introduced another non-combat character, or did they?
Yeah, like Willow. Like, is Willow a non-combat character? Is Pietro a non-combat character?
I mean, Pietro's probably a non-combat character.
Exactly. So it's like was that specifically for Volume 4? Or has the cast expanded to the point that you need non-combat characters to fill out the ranks?
I mean, I always thought they're like, you know, like you can't really make a show like this if everybody is a fighter. And I'm not talking about like, oh, look, we now we have Jacques and Whitley, you know, the two dipshits. Like, you know, like focusing on the fighters is a different show than what they expect RWBY to be. You know what I mean? They want this like whole world. They want a world. They want us to care about the world, and to have, you know, all of the characters that pass our consciousness to be like fighter characters. Like they say this about like Little Miss Muffet, you know, in Volume 6, where it's like, oh, she's the best fighter ever. She just doesn't have to, because she's a crime boss. And it's just like, why did you do that? Why did you think that was...
Wait, did they say that? Or was that just to give an example?
They did say that.
She's like the best fighter ever, but
she said she's so powerful and she could fight Cinder. She just doesn't have to because she has those two chumps standing behind her who will
think that was just her bluffing?
That was Miles saying that in a context where only people who paid for the DVD could hear it. So I'm not 100% sure if that was a bluff. I like to think that RWBY is like
the audience.
Yeah, I know. I like to think that like RWBY is entirely meta art, and like at the end they're gonna like rip off their masks and they're gonna be Banksy. Like, haha, we did it after 10 years of scamming Rooster Teeth. We've made our magnum opus that is entirely meta commentary on the nature of writing.
Kaiju says like they did confirm Willow having powers in the new DC comic. Not exactly a fighter, but she does have glyphs. So
Yeah, like she does.
DC
Like, I mean, if she didn't have that semblance, then it would be even more of a mind fuck. What's going on? So, like, if it got to the point where, like, I think the only reason she hasn't is because he is, providing for the family. Like, he is more of a boon to keep around than he is to, not. And I feel like if push came to shove, she would just, pull the trigger.
I think
I don't know, like,
if I would, I guess predict, or at least what I would, I guess, want, if Willow, for some reason, like Jacques is like attacking, especially Whitley somehow, and she like uses his lives or whatever, or jumps in, and at the same time stabs him while he shoots or whatever, hits her in the face. They both die, and then that's the only thing that Whitley says. Oh shit! Yeah, he was a bad dude, huh? He just killed my mommy. So,
No, I want her to kill him, and then he would be the fallen foe that she summons.
oh my
So
God.
she's trying to like do like she kills him, and then she summons him to like take council meetings and shit.
Yeah.
And
But
be like,
they're best
I
friends,
think
though.
we should give everyone rights.
They're best friends when she's summoned. Like they're like part like remember like she because Winter was like hugging her wolf and shit. They're like besties. So when she calls Jacques, it's like, hey honey, want to go in the bedroom? Sure, why not? I got a ghost stick. Why not?
All right. I'm sorry, but that back blew back to Winter and her wolf. Sorry.
Back blue?
Never apologize.
I have spent too much time with Fatman. Too much time with Fatman.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that.
The
He's
furry
twitching
is
over
an
there.
infectious
No,
disease
no,
that
no wolf.
it is all consuming.
No wolf. No wolf. Yes wolf. Yes wolf.
So we're good on that.
All right. So the actual meeting itself, was honestly the least interesting thing going on in the episode, except for the fact we did learn that there are 5 council members total.
And Jacques is 2 of them, and everybody is aware of it and why.
Ironwood.
So.
Ironwood is 2 of them.
Ironwood, yeah. If I say the names, it's intentional, and it's because that's me predicting what they're gonna retcon it to.
Well, and then like I posited during the reaction that I think the reason they have Robin there is because Jacques is going to be like, hey, maybe like we can't remove you from the council entirely, but maybe you shouldn't have 2 seats. I'm recommending Robin take over the Atlas Combat School or something like that. And so like the idea is that he would get on the people's side even more and get Robin in his pocket. That kind of thing.
But if that was the plan, why did Tyrion and Watts turn all the people against her? At the
It didn't
well,
turn
okay, I
against
guess
her.
it wasn't.
It wasn't her. She was made sympathetic because her rally was attacked and her life was put in threat. Like, yeah, it looked like an assassination attempt on her. So like the everyone is on her side. So it's like he was building her up, and that's why like I'm talking like suddenly that long game I was talking about being unfeasible is suddenly much more likely in how they've handled themselves. The only issues I still have is that damnable camera angle they have, which makes no sense. And people are like,
the from Penny's perspective angle.
yeah, and it's like people are like, well, there are drones there, and I'm like, yeah, but drones don't hover at like shin level to get camera footage. And the camera footage that we're seeing, the one source we're seeing, and also camera drones typically don't have night vision.
What's the commercial purpose of this drone with night vision that hovers?
Well, they sort of did though. No, they sort of did because when Yang kicked the drone, it was nighttime. So why would they hang out at night? I would think they would have.
Who had the drones at nighttime?
Like the drones. Remember when Yang kicked that drone in the balls?
Because I mean they can still operate in areas with bright lights. There's street lights.
But it was
Also, it wasn't that a military drone?
That was a military drone. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and if it was a military drone that was filming the whole thing, then no one's going to trust it. It all loops back to like how like just it's the camera itself. It's like I
And-
like the idea of them using the deep fake, but man, was that
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
just that one camera angle really botches it. They just done it from a different angle. It could have worked so much better.
They're definitely not gonna trust it because one of them had "kick me" on it, remember? And that group down there put it on that camera up there. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Nobody likes those drones, but it's like, you know, they need Penny to be a scapegoat, right? They need. Ugh.
Let's see. Kaiser says
Everything about everything about their plan, like especially since they skipped the Grim attack. Like they summoned the Grim with all the negativity, but the Grim didn't really do shit.
Yeah, it's like I can't
Like-
believe they skipped the second riot in a row. Like, what's the point of
Yeah.
that?
It's like they got this like the Jacques thing when he shut down the stores. They got the election thing where they like and it all got put down without needing Penny. Apparently, she was
Well,
off moping the whole time, and they
Well, do
and
we
they just
know that she was
cleaned
off
it up.
moping the whole time, or do we know that like did she like do her job and leave? Like I mean I know it's implied that she ran away, but like we don't know for sure. We have no idea where she was from.
I suppose. I suppose.
Now they're introducing this whole like, oh, we've turned off the heaters and we're gonna have snowfall and all that.
So then, with that, I mean, I don't know. The
Also,
council.
if they don't have ice slick, like if they don't have it that the streets and buildings are now like icy as hell because it's been raining there and then suddenly the cold is coming in. If they don't have it be icy, if they just have it, oh, it's snow. No, it needs to be like hardcore, just ice everywhere. I will tell you, because like they live down in Texas, they don't get a lot of snow. I don't trust them with how they depict it. Because when it rains here and then it freezes the next day, because I live in Ohio, where we can go from 61 today to like 32 tomorrow, like we see crap like that where it rains and then ice is over, and then like suddenly you are literally like everywhere is a skating rink.
Jeez.
You have children that can put on their skates and go out to the streets. Happens rarely, but it can happen.
I kind of have to run out. I mean, I just caught the tail end of that. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, basically, we don't know what their ice thing is, but we're getting ahead of ourselves with that. So basically,
There's a question here from Kaiser. Do you think having a scene where Whitley and Willow interact should be sooner rather than later? Yes, always. I think. And then another one. Also, wouldn't Robin's encounter with Yang and Blake last episode change her interaction with Ironwood this episode?
Say that again.
Whose?
Wouldn't Robin's encounter with Yang and Blake last episode change her interaction with Ironwood this episode?
It should.
Do you think it did?
I don't know. She still seemed very distrustful of him,
Mm-hmm.
but she did trust Yang and Blake. So, like, I'm wondering if, like, she's just being cautious right now, just like trying to feel everything out.
Makes sense.
Because she doesn't know that Jacques might be in the pocket of the bad people.
Yeah.
Because they only figured that out before the party. So with that, it could be that she's going to basically be. She might out the whole plan with the tower in front of Jacques. Yeah. And that might blow back on everyone, and Jesus Christ, that would be so bullshit that Robin would not know how to keep her goddamn mouth shut.
I mean, like, why would she? Like, she doesn't care about the tower. Like, she doesn't care about fixing the tower.
But
like,
she doesn't know
wants...
its true purpose yet, and she knows that there's more to the story that she doesn't know. And so
like the idea, like didn't Yang and Blake say something about keeping it under wraps for very specific reasons, that there's people they're fighting? Like I think they did like start to breach that part of the conversation, but they got cut off by the people coming at them.
Did she?
I know that she
remember
knew there's more to
exactly.
the story that she didn't know.
Oh, that was that episode 7.
Yes.
One of the original questions for where we're at right now was, I think what one of you said, you know, that the meeting itself was bland or something. I thought it was rather interesting that it was just confirmed even more that Jock just knows how to handle shit, because everything he said about Ironwood says he has every right to be like, I'm sorry, bye Felicia, because you failed everywhere and you want us to trust you. That's enough. We've trusted you for a long time now. Like, yeah, and we feel horrible that he has a great reason, but he doesn't, though, according to them, according to anyone that doesn't know that. So he's going by the Jock going by the book. It's so ugh. It makes me say it makes gross.
Man, like Jacques is being very effective here, and I think one of the more interesting points to this is there's a third option that Ironwood has open to him in this entire delegation, and that's to out the truth about Salem to the council, but not his actual plans, because ultimately the council knowing about Salem and possibly putting suspicion on Jacques over it might work in his favor, though I see him, if he does it too rashly and undiplomatically, it could have massive blowback. So it's one of those things that I think could save him in this situation, but it also might blow back on him hard.
Also, Robin does know that the people responsible for all the murders are also trying to stop the Amity Tower from being done. So she does know that.
Okay, so that's, but she doesn't know that Jacques might be in on it. She doesn't know like what kind of information the council has.
Well, yeah,
though,
nobody knows yet that Jacques is, even though they suspect it, nobody knows that Jacques is in the pocket of.
Get tagged somewhere in here. Let's see. Raymond, how do you feel how they botched Thirsty Mom's death? One of their character models is reused, I think, twice afterwards, kind of putting a damper on the orphan kid situation. Like I said, I just think they used I think it was unintentional. The Thirsty Mom's dying. I think they just needed character models for deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, those orphans are dead as fuck now. That everything is going to freeze over.
Don't know that they're homeless orphans.
No, they don't even need to be. Like, they're shutting it off. Like they're gonna fucking freeze.
Yeah, no. That's the real horror of Atlas. You know, everyone's complaining about this whole dust management thing. Really, the big threat is the eminent domain that Jacques was complaining about, because, like, you know, the Thirsty Moms die, and the Atlas is just like, yeah, no, the house is ours now. And just, you know, leave the kid out on the street. You know, we can freeze for all I care.
No, what I'm saying, like, house or not, the thing that Watts turned off was, like, not just the thing that, like, turned off a rain, I call it, but wasn't it, like, all heating for all Mantle?
It was heating for a section of Mantle. I don't know if it was all of Mantle.
But, like, all the systems, like the sewer and something systems, which means, like, inside the house, like, right? Like, or am I don't think it was specific.
They didn't, I think the heating system they were referring to was mostly just like the outside heaters, which
yeah, the outside heaters.
The outside heaters. That's weird.
Which explains all the people wearing like
Yeah.
unconventionally warm clothing.
I guess.
I still probably would wear something warmer when I go outside. I wouldn't trust a freaking government-run heater to keep me warm.
If that's all they've known, though, why not?
I'm referring more to like the RWBY cast, not the extras.
Not hipster drunk.
Didn't wife say some shit with like, oh, if you didn't have aura to keep, you'd freeze in a minute?
Oh yeah,
That's like in episode 3 or something. I think that was episode 3. But yeah, it's like
Which and raises the question of why doesn't everyone have aura unlocked? Does everyone have aura unlocked? We don't know.
obviously not. Sienna didn't. Sienna was like, "Nope, I don't have my aura. I'm gonna get stabbed."
Counterpoint, like Adam's whole thing has been cutting through aura. Like he cut through Yang's aura without any kind of issue.
That's never been a thing. They just didn't care.
Yeah.
Moon slice. Moon slice.
Spoon.
Should have been installed a clear dome around mantle in addition to the heaters. I mean, they could have just made the heaters point in to heat all of the public housing instead of making the heaters point out to melt the snow before it piles up. Like, I don't know. I feel like there are more efficient ways to manage this whole situation. Like, I mean, if you build the dome, do you even really need the heaters at that point? Because I mean, that would be more effective than the temperature because you can control it from that end, right?
I would still need to find out exactly what they turned off, like, and what it did specifically, because it's hard to just sit here and be like, well, yeah.
I don't know how thermodynamics work.
You know everything, Fatman. You're letting me down. You teach me shit. What even is life now? You don't know this.
Yeah.
And I'm back. Actually, I just had a thought while I was in the bathroom listening to you talk.
Wash your hands.
I wear my headphones everywhere. I did.
Good.
I did.
Apparently, people were like yelling at Britt for not washing his hands last freaking in this reaction.
But I was just thought they listed the sewers with the controls as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, like sewers and something system.
Sewers and heating.
Okay.
If they turn off the heating and then back up the sewers, and their entire thing is just to create. What is their plan with this? Like to create more mass hysteria? Like, but they've already done that several times. Like,
it's like it, and then they're gonna just cut to the. They're gonna start the episode, and the heaters are gonna be turned back on, and they're gonna be like, "That was weird." Just like some guy in like a hard hat and a blue shirt, and he's just like, oh god, they're pushing the button to turn the heater back on, like, well, we had to reboot the heating system. Oh well.
Anyway, good night. Tell May I said hi. All right, Ralph.
Well, let's see. So yeah, let's continue on.
Mm-hmm. Media has something to say about the heaters. I will say this about the heaters and stuff. Heaters like that would not work in a way that would melt snow into rain. But you don't know that. How big they are. You don't know what dust does.
There would be, but like heat like radiates. So Watt standing that close to the heaters, he would fucking die before. Like it would be so hot next to the heaters. If it was hot enough farther away from the heaters, like so far up that the snow is melting and
you
turning
just
into
said
rain.
You don't know how it works, and now you come up with this shit. What? nah, yo. Next.
No, I don't know how the thermodynamics of a dome would keep the city warm. Like I don't know if a dome would make the city warm.
That is in the heater.
Yeah,
because heat rises. I guess a dome. I mean, when you look at like the design of an igloo, an igloo is made out of snow and ice packed together, but like the design of it traps heat in such a way that keeps people inside warm. But I don't know like exactly how that works either.
Yeah,
science.
Yeah, this is all science magic. This is all wizard shit.
Well, and we also don't know how the heaters are supposed to work. Like for all we know, it could just be fire dust or whatever, and it explains away why he's not spontaneously combusting. It just makes everything in like the next 5-mile radius a pleasant 72 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm. With a hint of lavender.
Yes.
Yeah. And not just like 1,000,000 degrees right above the heater and then like enough to melt the snow like farther up.
Just be careful. It's a pleasant 72 degrees Fahrenheit, not a 72 degrees Kelvin, or else
72 degrees. You've seen that SpongeBob meme, right? Where it's like 100 degrees, 100 degrees, and 100 degrees.
I think
Like
I have.
Fahrenheit area is, yeah, it's like 70, and it's like 70 Fahrenheit, and it's like SpongeBob standing there bored, and it's like 70 Celsius, and he's on fire. And then 70 Kelvin, and he's frozen in a block of ice. I don't know. I can't find it. Like, I saw it on Twitter one day, and it's just like, that's funny, but I lost it after that. But yeah,
Okay, but let's see.
degrees
So
are strange.
They have the negotiations thing, and then we cut back to the party, and Weiss needs to break free of the party to go raid her dad's office. And Whitley comes down the stairs,
Wait, we're
talks her ear off.
missing the best part. Well, not the best part, but the best part of the fucking wine on Whitley. That was amazing.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, you were talking about the dome as in, like, protecting the city? Well, I mean, wouldn't that just solve everyone's problem instantly? Salem shows up with her army. He's like, they put a dome up? This wasn't in the part of the plan. All right, back to the drawing board.
I could see her flying
Like-
on her. Oh my god.
And just like her entire army of monkeys just flies back.
Like, into the dome, like,
There's giant windshield wipers on the dome.
dome.
Make that noise again. Make
Which
it.
one of us?
Make the noise again. Why is that so fucking funny? Okay. Alright, go ahead.
But no. So yeah, we have Whitley and Weiss talking, and then everyone devises a plan. Or Team Juniper, what remains of them, devise a plan on the fly to basically get him covered in gooey foodstuffs. And then it lands on a fat lady instead, because fat lady are funny. And then she spills wine on him, which is even funnier.
See, that first part was not funny. It was just so predictable. Oh my god. Who could have... I like the little, like, I think it was like Ocean's 11 kind of, like, camera work or whatever. It was cute. Then Ren smile. And, yeah, I was like, oh, please, no. And then the wine, I'm like, okay, it's forgiven. Because that was going to be cringe if it just left it like that.
And then Weiss goes back upstairs, and we cut back to the meeting, where Winter decides that now, of all times, is the perfect time for her to completely lose any semblance of maturity
No pun intended.
and military restraint, and decides to just start yelling at her father, even though that is the least effective thing that you want to be doing right now.
Which is exactly what he wanted, because as soon as she started, that weird-ass mustache smile, ugh.
Man, he looks weird without a mustache.
Mustache.
So someone photoshopped that off, and it just looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, that should be illegal.
Oh my god! Someone like take that Photoshop of him without a mustache and Photoshop like on like one of those like one of those mustaches that like really young teens try to grow, but it's like the really spotty like kind of like ugly mustaches that don't grow in fully.
Okay.
Just like a McLovin mustache.
Like loving. Oh my god.
Like do that to him. That'd be hilarious. But the going in with that, he basically pisses her off, and she leaves the room. And basically, he's saying all these half truths that are like really hitting home about Ironwood. That's fair. She leaves in a huff, probably damaged everyone's opinion of Ironwood's side of the argument.
Mm-hmm.
Though why, for God's sake, did Ironwood bring her? I don't know. Why did he bring Penny? I don't know. Clover's all you really need, because Clover can keep an even head, as far as we know.
He could just make the argument go your way with his semblance.
Okay,
Like,
I
what
doubt
the-
he could, but that's on them for not defining what it means by good luck or bad luck with either of those semblances.
Good luck. Yeah.
And so with that, we get Weiss breaking into the office, meeting a waitress on the way, which kind of stands out as weird because, again, I pointed out there should be no waitress this deep into the manor unless they're trying to steal shit.
Well,
we
unless she
don't
was
know the
walking
manor, though. We don't know where
like
the kitchen
away
was.
from the thing towards the kitchen. Like we don't know the floor plan.
Mm-hmm. Or she was
Why would they-
in the wall.
I mean, yeah,
Shortcut.
She could have taken. She was taking a secret passage to the
Right.
kitchen. And so she walks into the office, and Fatman, I think you pointed out that how did she not notice her mother? I looked back at that scene, and she backed into the room because she was
Yeah.
covered. She was like keeping watch on the hallway.
That's what I was trying to explain in the video. Just
So,
I'm looking down, kind of like
so
closing the door.
like Jacques could have been in there.
Shock was it? How? He was in the meeting.
Or somebody could have been in there.
Dumbass.
Watts could have been in there.
Someone
Watts could have
literally
been in there,
was
you're right.
and she missed
Yeah, yeah.
You're right. That would have been
like,
awesome to see.
I don't know. I feel like if you're sneaking into a, it's like more important that you make sure nobody,
Not really.
like nobody in the room sees you.
Why would there be somebody be in the room if they're all out there?
Yeah,
I
she knows
know.
where Jacques is. She knows where all. If Watts were in the room, then
Yeah, that's
then
dun, dun,
that'd be
dun.
suspicious. like basically, her argument in her mind was probably, I have no right being in here, but so does no one else at this specific time. So, what's their excuse? We're basically going to be talking past each other, which eventually is kind of what happened with her and her mom. Though I still don't know why her mom was in the room. She explained it, but I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. She was like putting another camera in the room or something. She just has a camera in that room.
She was getting some more drinks or
She's just
glasses for
stealing
her
from-
imaginary friends.
Glasses for her
I
imaginary.
don't know. She was
friend.
talking to
Yeah.
herself at first.
See, the Schnees are the only people who wouldn't need imaginary friends because they can shit.
Yeah, because they're besties.
So yeah, like, I mean, ultimately, I don't know why they sent Weiss to be the one to infiltrate his office when they had Blake on hand, who like has proven to be quote unquote the stealthiest member of the team. I say it in quotes because it's one of those things that is like the fandom has kind of had to fill in, as opposed to like it actually being a demonstrable thing. But she's like as graceful and as stealthy as a cat. It's like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Like-
maybe it is just one of those traits that the fandom gives to her that she doesn't actually have.
So graceful as a cat. She can't dance. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dance.
Cat-
Have you ever seen a cat?
Cats don't dance.
No, no. But they're really graceful. And when it comes to like 3 steps that she had to do, she was like, that's
For
what
the
she was
record,
like.
Fatman, I appreciated the pun.
Right.
I just want you to feel appreciated. there.
Look,
I-
he was
yeah,
giggling as
no,
he was
if I-
talking. I had my guard up. Okay, so I didn't hear what he said.
Yeah.
I-
If I make a pun, I either want just like a full minute of dead silence, or somebody to go, yeah, I get it.
Those two. That's
Like
it.
those are the only 2 acceptable responses to a pun.
That Kaido Dan says, sure, send the faunus with the White Fang history on her own to sneak into the SDC Kingpin's office. I don't know. Send the disowned friggin' former heiress into his office. It looks equally as suspicious.
Nobody sent her though. Nobody sent her. They
she
were
went on her
supposed to
own.
stay there and just chill. She was the one that was like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go get some shit."
Where are notification settings? Fucking, I'm getting like sounds, and I don't want that. Get notifications, apps, or senders, notifications, tips, tricks, no.
But
Yeah.
so after a while now, a couple days, Fatman, thinking it over, you still feel the same way about how they portrayed Willow and how she could just shoot him instead of being that afraid of her husband?
I mean, I would just imagine that if she really was that afraid. Like, because like I mean that's like what it was. She's afraid of him. Like she wants like proof of his wrongdoing so she can what, escape? Like is she trying to like set up some plot to like kick him out of the house so that she can take like, you know, so she can like keep the like the company and the family name and all that jazz? Or is she actually like
Hmm.
worried about
right,
something? I'm not 100% sure what her deal is,
here's it.
but it seems like if it was that bad, she could just fucking kill him.
It seems that to the outside world. And I was talking about this in the chat of the premiere because I had never said anything about this in the reaction, but I've had experience with a family member, you know, that it's not that easy. These the let's just say it's just emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is not nothing, and oh, they can just do that. Emotional abuse can like chip at your soul and your being, your entire. You don't know who you are anymore. You question everything that you've ever done, and your worth, and your strength, especially, and it can lead to like suicide, to where that's how and it looked like that's what it was because she seemed that crazy in the beginning. She was like she was so unsure of anything, and then, you know, she.
But she is
Bottom
proactively like working on it.
right, but it's still just she's trying to be all sneaky about it. Like we need more information on this, but from what I see, there's still something missing because of why was she in that room specifically? I mean, she could just hang out in the room all the time anyway. I don't know, whatever. But like, the way she was acting, her words, and the exact moment where she cried, I was I was living that again, and it was like, you know how like I feel shit, right? And I know it's weird. People just don't get it. I don't fucking get it either. I don't want to feel like that either. But it's just so much more behind it. It's not just like, what if she just grab and shoot him, or why can't she just leave? And it's not only about money. It's not only about providing that he was the provider. There could be so much behind it, like threats, like threatening that he would kill his own children if she dare tries, like stuff like that, and like has gone to go do it probably, and then I don't know. I'm just thinking, obviously, like the worst case scenarios here, but there's just more to it, and that's why I'm always like, okay, let's find out more. But we can't just say grab a gun and shoot.
I meant like we'll make a determination on what her status is when we actually learn more about the dynamic that she's been situated in, because we don't have all the like. This is the thing that's most frustrating about RWBY is that we almost never have the picture that we need in order to actually make any kind of feasible prediction or any kind of like measurement on things. They always hide like 60% of the information from us and then deliver it to us far past the point that it would have been useful or informative.
You would go straight up say hide. They hide it from us instead of like, oh shit, maybe we forgot, or maybe we should not say that because of blight.
Maybe they
no,
they
I
hide
think
20%.
they're
They hide.
no, I think they're doing it on purpose. I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing it on purpose because it promotes discussions like this. Like it promotes, you know, the content lifestyle. You know, I don't know. I've complained about this a lot. It's a fandom show. It's not like an art show.
Yeah, it's like, you know, Fatman. I honestly think you should start watching the CWD DC shows, just because like, I mean, if you want to ever subject yourself to that, they can because the first seasons are typically good, and then everything after that is like falling down on their faces in different drunken ways.
Yeah.
And in fact, I would probably say The Flash mirrors RWBY pretty accurately, although the first season of The Flash is genuinely great. But it's like Oh God, it's all about like churning the fandom and getting them excited for these little hints and nods and stuff, and then like
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
then again, the Flash does deliver on a lot of things, even though it's not delivered very well. They deliver. RWBY, it feels like half of the stuff they just gotta drop and forget. Does anyone remember the any of the teams from the Vital Festival? No? Okay.
They all got eaten and nommed. Yep.
Only one of them got eaten and nommed.
One team or one person?
One team.
Ah.
Yeah, I think they did imply that in the book that like team. It was bronze, right?
Yeah, with Mei Zedong. Or yeah, Zedong.
Yeah, they killed off the
Zedong.
May. They can add a new May now.
Oh,
the
that's
rule.
why.
Oh, what if they bring in a new Pira Tanokos or something like that? It's like
Tanoko.
Tanoko.
Pira Taquitos.
Taquito. She's from Mexico. She's the,
She's a
Hurricane
cousin. She's
Tortilla.
Maria's niece. And she looks like Pira, but like has a darker skin tone and is like Hispanic themed. So instead of like
so it would be
like-
Mira taquitos.
It's just
Tortillas.
a reskinned model.
Off colored. All right.
uh,
Let's see, Dan. Oh, big enough. I see something.
So okay, so they're talking with the flash over to Winter and Penny having a moment where Penny's like, "You shouldn't feel bad for having emotions." Meanwhile, Winter should definitely feel bad about blowing up emotionally in the middle of a tense negotiation.
yeah, it's like she was like, I have a lot of emotions, and they're all tied to this specific location. And Penny's like, fucking pussy. Cut back to episode 4. when she's like at the Vital Festival thing, and she's like,
Not only is she like indifferent to the emotions there, she's actively happy and bouncing on her feet at what the event is now occurring there. Like,
no, she's like standing in the same spot, just like standing in the same 4 spots. Sorry.
Pure Taquitos and Yuan Arc. Yes, we'll have like a mirror of them, and it will be there specifically just to make John even more miserable and sad, and I will be happy at that.
I mean, honestly, I'm glad that they didn't give that they never just like made a Pura 2. I was like really concerned that was like exactly the thing they were gonna do in like
Counterpoint.
volume 4.
Counterpoint. They gave us Oscar.
I would have been worse if they had given us a Pura 2.
Yes, but they also gave us Oscar.
So
I will take Oscar over Pura 2 any day.
good standing your ground.
Like I don't care. Like Oscar's not good, but he's better than Pura, and he was better than any replacement they could give.
I'm sorry. What? Better than Pura?
Better than Pura.
Better than Pura? What?
Yeah.
Wait, what wasn't
Hyperventilate. I've never heard this.
Pura's arc like one of the best?
Didn't you fucking love that? What?
Confused now. We've all
From
equally-
what,
Who are
from
you?
what
Fatman,
they
who
were
are you?
doing,
Who are you?
Pura's always been my worst girl.
Okay.
Blake?
We're talking from a character writing perspective. We're not talking.
Blake was fine in volume 1.
Oh my fucking
Blake was better than
God.
Yang in volume 1. Like, Blake wasn't the worst until she left Yang at the end of volume 3. And it wasn't even about that. It was about how she was forgiven. Like, how like, it wasn't, how it's like,
So Yang
no,
then, not
Blake is the worst because of how she treated Yang. Like, that's why Blake is the worst. Pura,
Okay.
Pura has so many complexes that made her an interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
She gave them all to herself. She did not
That's
ever
what's
have.
interesting about it. That's what's the most interesting about it, is that it's like self-induced insanity. It's great.
I'm gonna point.
Like, one day someone probably praised her in some way, and she's like, "Let's aim for that," and then it just spiraled out of control to ruin her life. It's a really cool backstory. It's a really interesting character.
I want to paint a picture for you, Fatman, real quick, okay? And I'm not trying to be funny, but just think about it a little bit, okay? This girl, who is the most popular girl in school, everyone loves her. You know, she doesn't know if they love her because she's just cool and pretty and all this stuff, and she just can't be herself. She can only all of a sudden be herself around this one nerd who may or may not be in Discord and sees her for who she is and becomes friends with other nerds and now is happy and is turning to see all this. Yeah, she was like paralyzed. She gave it all to herself because that's all she's ever like known what to do. Nobody's ever told her that it was okay to do these things. And she dead now and shit. So just
Yeah, and
some of that is he knows why I'm saying this. Raymond knows. I don't know, but
yeah.
just throwing that out there. Maybe, hopefully, that I don't know, but that's part of why I really like her.
What I'm saying is, Pura is infinitely more relatable, and then you have Oscar, who is, I lived on a farm. Then a voice in my head told me to go on an adventure.
Which is way
Did you say
more
we?
relatable.
We.
That is Oscar in a nutshell, and he doesn't have a personality anymore.
Who hasn't been told to leave their farm by the voices in their head? Worst part about Oscar is it's only one voice.
I'll give you that. I will.
Oh Lord,
That'd be funny if Ozpin went into somebody who was already schizophrenic, and he just spends an entire life. Nope, I'm gonna ignore this voice. I'm gonna go back on my lithium.
that'd be worse. That would be worse because now all those personalities get added to the Ozpin paradigm.
Oh man, you can fuck up Ozpin pretty bad.
Why do I see him chasing chickens in this like dark room, like a whole bunch of chickens trying to catch him?
Wait, what?
Right, trying to like talk to at least one, but they're all like running away. Like he's like, hold on, I want to talk to one of you.
It wasn't absinthe in that cup. It was like hardcore medication.
Yeah. He needs his all of the other personalities come back if he's not drinking his meds.
So okay. So all right. We have winter. Yeah. So the whole winter thing is stupid and silly. Like it's one of those. You should let your emotions be free. No.
Coming from
a robot. This is coming from a robot, which I understand. You have this whole conniption over having emotions and trying to be like normal and such. I'm gonna tell you now, being emotional in a meeting of logic, not gonna help. Now watch it help next episode, and them try to prove me wrong, and I will be angry. Now, after that, we have
all the other council members are like, "Oh, what? I like her pizzazz."
He broke up hard.
But between Weiss and Willow, we have the whole heart-to-heart thing, which I thought was very lovely, and very sad, and very mom gets drunk because dad, and I don't know how to cope. And the whole paranoid thing that Willow has, where she sits up camera. This is like the least healthy home life.
Yeah.
And that's impressive in a show where you have Tai Yang Xiaolong.
Oh God, how do you go straight there? How?
Whole team.
The whole team. Hashtag whole team. Yes.
And like people are like, you know, I was talking about how Saffron and Tara are like the only positive couple in this show. People are like, well, what about Callie and Gira? And I'm sitting here, I'm like,
Her
Callie and
daughter
Jock
was a terrorist.
let their daughter run off to become a terrorist. Like they brought their child to a political rally. Yes, their relationship might be in a good place, but their entire life is in a very dark place when you get down to it. For the record, I am of the opinion you should not let your children get involved in political movements. Period.
Aw, man. Damn it. I won't have kids then. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I didn't think you were planning on having kids anyway.
Right, it was a joke. Remember? East joke. Okay, next. What are we up to?
Okay, so basically going on that, Weiss and Willow have the heart-to-heart. Willow's like, please don't forget your brother, which is hard to forget him because he keeps reminding you every time.
Yep. It's me, brother, sister. Oh, God, all right. That was funny. I'll give it that.
And from there, we learned that she recorded the meeting between basically everyone and Jock at all times, ever. Including the one time that Jock and Iron got locked in a room for a year.
Yeah, for a year.
Like, yes.
I still need them to reveal that when Jock slapping Weiss is Willow's text tone on her phone.
It has a good beat to it. So now Weiss has the indication that Watts is involved, and since she was there at Pietro's office and saw the photograph, it's possible she'll recognize Watts.
And it didn't even make her laugh.
Didn't even make her what?
What?
It didn't even make her laugh.
Laugh.
I apologize. I'll show myself out.
Okay. You know how she'll recognize him? If she puts her thumb on him. That's what I'm saying.
No, she's watching on her scroll. And
Oh, you keep breaking up.
I wish there was a way for me to see this. Am I really?
Yeah, you keep chopping.
We're not in
We're not in South.
problem. Does anybody else notice the Discord only works if you're in US South?
Or at least really well in South.
No, it's very specific that you have to be in a region that's not yours or something like that.
It's ridiculous.
No. Oh. But anyway.
So it's like that's that, and then we have, of course, Watts turning off the power to the heaters and making it snow
Dramatically. He could have done that from,
very
you know.
dramatically. He threw away his umbrella.
Why did he throw away his umbrella? Like, he could have stabbed somebody in the
umbrella.
forehead, in the head.
That looks expensive. It's like at least $50.
I mean, like, I mean, it's not like things stop falling out of the sky. It's like it's just snowing now. You could still use the umbrella.
People use umbrella during snowy days all the time. Like, again, this just informs me of that. I don't think they understand how weather works.
Maybe he was just going back into the apartment he was on top of. Like, maybe he's not going to stay out very long.
Was that just his way? He just didn't want to carry it down the stairs.
Yeah.
Down to pick it up later.
I'm beyond you. I do not need you anymore.
I'll say this, I thought this episode was shot very well, and people are pointing out that the end of the chapter was great, especially cinematography wise. I thought it was really well done to give you sense of scale and placement and everything. Very well done on that matter.
Do you think there's still a Pomeranian in his bag? Poor thing's dead by now.
No, the Pomeranian was inside the umbrella when
The entire time.
The Pomeranian's secretly like one of those Soul Eater characters that turns into weapons. It turns into an umbrella.
Valkyrie Drive. Well, won't go there though.
Yeah, we're talking about people turning into weapons. We're not talking about Valkyrie Drive. This is an embarrassment. This is an embarrassment to society.
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 Society. Is there anything else to talk about in relation to this episode? Because I'm out of topics, really. That was the entire episode.
I think that was pretty much, covered. yeah, I think that's about it. The little dinosaur thing. I just I didn't know that was a thing. There's
Yeah,
a cute
that's
little
Monty's thing.
nod, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do appreciate that.
I didn't know it was specifically for Christmas too, right, or something.
Like I really do hate it when people like, because it does make the critics look really bad when they try to diss the current writers for like not seeing Monty's vision. Like there are some things you can say that are kind of throwing things in the face of Monty's vision occasionally, but they're usually accidents. I don't think they're ever intentional. I don't think, like for example, Fatman points out in his Volume 3 review how they have that stupid flip that Ruby does with her scythe. Like she flips the scythe around, slams it down like she's going to shoot someone, and then rushes forward. And then you cut back to Monty speaking about not wasting movement in part of his animation philosophy, and it's like, yeah, that kind of stupid stuff happens where it's like,
Yeah.
like they don't follow his philosophy on animation, but like when they talk about writing specifically, Monty was not a good writer.
He was like hands off as shit. He's like, nope, get these people. I'm not even gonna check if they're good or not. Just let them do it. They're my friends. That's the point.
That's why, like, when I have my whole time travel plan, my goal is to ingratiate myself with Monty specifically so that I can become the writer of RWBY and be like, hey man, I got a really cool idea, and like describe to him his own idea back to him and see how that goes. But like that's the time travel plan.
Wouldn't you just play the stock market and make your own show?
I could, but what if I wanted to make RWBY good too? Also, I don't follow the stock market. What do I know about stocks? I know nothing.
Don't they go on your feet? Oh no, that's never mind.
I'm assuming that this time
Stockings.
travel plan does not involve me having precognizant knowledge of being time traveled. I'm assuming I'm just being like yeeted into the past against my will at some point.
Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Lego.
Lego doing well right now?
Lego's doing better than gold.
No.
If you bought gold and Lego 10 years ago at the same amount, Lego would be worth like way more.
Not when you step on it.
Well, now that I know that, that's definitely going on the bucket list if I can get it into the past. Lego.
buy a Lego stock. You got all these other time travelers, and they're like, oh, buy Apple, buy Amazon, and it's just like,
Buy
no.
some apples.
And of course, the very first thing you do, invest in Bitcoin. Like, buy 7 Bitcoins, 8 Bitcoins right off the bat, and then at the peak of like 2018, you just
Sell them all.
2017. Was it 2018 or 2017?
It was around there. There was a time when they were worth like 15,000.
There was a time where like they were worth like Bitcoin value was like $1 million something. It was ridiculous. Like the actual like price of them. So if you had like,
could you even spend them at that point? Like that must have been like really early on. Like at the very like when blockchain was like a new thing.
No. This was like there was a whole fervor over it in like 20. When did I work at the airport? Because I remember like I had a coworker that was super into it, and at the beginning of the year, let's see, when did Monster Hunter World come out?
2017.
While he's thinking about
So-
that, Merry Chrysler, everyone.
Yeah,
Hope
Merry
everybody,
Chrysler.
got that peace on earth feeling along with their very expensive presents. Yay!
I got nice.
Hope you got your AirPods.
2018.
What?
It was in January of 2018. Wow. Monster
All right.
Hunter came out.
So, yes, I think it was 2018, early 2018, that
But
basically all that came out. That basically Bitcoin value reached like the millions for a brief time, for like a brief window.
oops, about to start
And
playing
it-
some
it-
music. The speech is getting too long. Here's the music.
Right, sorry. But basically, yeah, time travel. That'd be fun. Go back in time. get rich, fix RWBY,
Oh God.
and fix all the emotional traumas in my life. You know, that's the fun.
I don't know. I'm looking at the whole value, like the whole thing, and the peak was in like December of 2017 when it was 19,000. I don't know. I'm just looking at like the Google like value calendar. Yeah, in December 15th of 2017, it shot up to 19,600, and then it like went down, and now it's in July it was like at 11 or 12,000.
All
Right.
right.
So basically, I'll just buy 100,000 bitcoins
Buy as many as you
Oh
can.
my God.
when they're like $1 a piece.
I
So,
do
alright,
have something to say real quick. For those of you to
Yes,
say
please.
that are not in the stream and are watching this later, I really truly would like to know what you think about Whitley. Where do you think he may be going? Do you like what they're doing? Do you think they could have done better, or are they on it? Let me know, like, because that's super interesting to see different point of views, of course. That's about it.
Alrighty. Well, I don't have anything else to add besides my time travel schemes. So, does anyone else have anything to add
No.
other than weren't we going to try and get Murder of Birds on here? Did that fall through?
Oh no, I just
I mean, he knows we're on.
yeah, I
so.
let him know that we were on, and Vex as well. He came in, said hi, and I let him know too. But you know,
Because we wanted to congratulate Murder of Birds on hitting 100,000 subscribers.
On Christmas.
heck yeah,
That's a great Christmas present.
right?
Pass some of them to us.
No, don't do that. You do what you need to do. Dream it, go away, go away. God damn it, this is my fucking
I have to
house.
chill, damn it.
Yeah.
As he walks away.
One, it's like the soldier, like the elite soldiers versus the like cannon fodder people, and it's just like, one of mine is worth 1,000 of yours. So I'll trade you.
Well, anyway, guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll see. Well, next week there's no RWBY. I hope you have a happy New Year. My birthday is coming up. I will be streaming probably I don't know how long. It's just I'm gonna be here on the 29th. Yeah, hanging out and stuff, and yeah, come say hi, and I don't know what else to say. 29th. When is that? Sunday, I think, this year. Yep. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Catch you on the flip side.
Bye.
Ah.